lanes into it don't work, and they're going to ban the Azir anyway and say, okay, you can have Tahm Kench. We're going to find a way to take it down. Hanwha Life could have first picked it in our first series, chose not to, and lost to Tahm Kench. Let's see if they have a better time against it in the second round.
On the red side, instead of banning Azir, you could have gotten away with a different counter, a couple of things, maybe even the Xerath, but instead you decide to ban it and give them Tahm Kench. Well, we'll see if it works out for them. I'm not the biggest fan, but speaking of being a fan, they love their Varus here, and, well, maybe that means that KT will go for another interesting dive comp. They won't have the Azir this time, but the cannon is open.
Don't know if that's going to be a first-round pick, and maybe Hanwha Life just keep finding safety for Sangyoon, because Sangyoon is usually their spirit animal in a lot of their victories in the late game. And go for the Alistar Varus. Sorry, the Alistar Varus. Yeah, that's interesting. As a duo here, still very strong engage. If Hanwha Life is going to set up a pick comp.
Also disengage for the cannon, right? Tries to come in on you, you just headbutt him away.
Yep. Exhaust Alistar is one of the old counter picks. Janna, another one that was famously taken into the cannon. KT, well, we see our first Ezreal in a very long time in Korea. Ezreal priority way down. Most teams take Ashe at this pick on blue side. Already sees the Alistar and Varus. And it will, in fact, be Deft on the Ezreal. Gonna wait for the ultra late lock-in. It was a first-round mid laner in our first game of this series, but the Azir is now taken away, and this time they'll get the Gragas that they gave up to get the Azir in game number 1.
Yeah, expecting another type of tanky jungler here from SeongHwan, I suppose. And Gragas slowly moving up the tier list. Makes sense to pick it here before it does get banned. Trundle seems obvious.
Do notice that now Kingzone into KT have dropped Trundle priority and said, we're happy to take Gragas into Trundle, and we're not taking Trundle. Remember that Trundle does a lot of things well, but his ganking is situational compared to Flash Body Slam, compared to Ultimate from the Gragas. And also, the Gragas can disengage Trundle compared to other jungle tanks, as he has very short cooldown on the Body Slam, and he usually maxes it either first or second. So the Gragas is being seen over it, and also Score is probably the best Gragas jungle of all time.
Yeah.
Predictably, after the Azir coverage ban, Sangyoon also gets a cannon coverage ban.
Yeah, I like it. I just laughed. It was banned so fast. They definitely knew what they were doing. Didn't expect it in the first round. That leaves the question open. What will Smeb want to just blind pick in the top side up against Lindarang?
If they pick another immobile carry, the Rumble is available, which if he just won on his 400 and 401st game as cannon into Rumble, I think I would lose my mind, as I love to watch Smeb on those two picks in particular.
That's a Papasmithy special.
I named my dog after Rumble, but the Gnar are going to be banned away for another safe blind pick. You're right, it probably will have to be a blind pick, but both solo lanes required from Hanwha Life will gain some information about what they're willing to blind pick, because Cho'Gath could just be taken at Sangyoon's pick.
Yeah. It's definitely a good point. Try to leave Lava for the counter pick in the mid lane. Definitely shutting down Ucal is of the utmost importance. Swain seemed like a decent blind pick for the side of Lava, so KT decided to take that away with their ban.
So will it just be screw it Cho'Gath for Lindarang this game? He had some coverage bans before. It seems like the GP might be preferred on his side. Would be more map play. Really feels like a teleport Varus, teleport Alistar. GP for the rotational games Hanwha Life loves to play. They love to teleport into one lane and GP ult the other. KT, what we feeling for the top side?
How about a Mundo? Don't see that all too often. Vlad into the Gangplank is a good counter.
I think he's trying to make a case for the Rumble here, but I think the Vladimir would be the most reliable choice.
Still thinking about it. He's praying. Please, coach.
Please, coach. It's my most
Put me in. Oh, instead it's going to be Jayce.
Well, he wants to really pound on the GP then instead. The Rumble would have been kind of a losing lane, but you can make some great ult plays onto the Varus. Without knowing the mid laner, they don't want to take the risk. If it's a slippery mid laner, then the Rumble might just lose value. Instead, he's going to go Jayce and have a happy fun time. And speaking of pounding on people, how about a LeBlanc bind pick?
You know, I don't know about that. Okay. They know about it, I suppose. Now, Hanwha Life have tons of information in the mid lane. A bit of a counter that we haven't seen in a while is Galio. It is available, but hovering the Malzahar right now. Obviously, the Spell Shield is good for mitigating a bunch of the damage, and you can just play safe, push the lane.
It's Ucal's 64th game as a professional player. He's never played LeBlanc in pro play.
What?
Which is an intriguing time to blind pick LeBlanc. The only reason you blind pick it here is if that's the only champion you have nothing you want to play into, so you say, well, I'm just going to go for the LeBlanc. Strong laning champion. It's going to be Malzahar from Lava just to try to play through mid lane. Hanwha Life, after 6, can do a lot of things, but pre-6, they have very, very weak scenarios to deal with. Malzahar can't do anything in lane. Till level 6, the GP is going to have a bad time against the Jayce, and Trundle can't really gank on his own. So this is definitely going to be a KT paradise for the early game. They can do a lot of stuff in the early game. That's going to be big. They can play the 1-3-1 very well with Jayce and LeBlanc situationally hitting the side lane, and they've been donated to Tahm Kench again. So let's see if Hanwha Life can really make us understand this Varus priority in particular, because they've had to do a lot just to get the Varus some safe team fight situations.
Yep, a couple of times in a row. See if Sangyoon can be the main carry for his team. I feel like red side Trundle for SeongHwan has seen a lot of success, so I think he's definitely going to have to help out a bunch of the lanes. You mentioned the top lane, has to deal with Jayce. Maybe see if they can lock down Ucal after level 6 for Lava.
There's so much poke if it ends up being a siege game with Ezreal 2 items. How's Malzahar ever going to ignore Ezreal, LeBlanc, Jayce poke? That's going to be so annoying. Needed something into the LeBlanc. Maybe this is going to be the clever way that they find the 2-0, going for this blind pick, first time in pro play LeBlanc for Ucal.
Well, first time LeBlanc. Can he do it? Can he actually defeat Lava once again? Let's jump into the game and find out as the countdown rather, has started. Let's jump into it right now.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
We're here at the KT Arena.
Yeah.
Cheering on KT, our favorite team. Everybody's really excited tonight.
The fans here are so ravenous for KT Rolster. It's cool to hear. Get a bit of a chill hearing the fans that much into the game. Maybe that's what KT need. Maybe they just need louder and louder volumes of support. They are a very, very popular team, both because of the KT brand, very well known in esports, StarCraft to the League of Legends days. The players all have big personal brands, and Ucal developing one. The other 4 players, legendary players on other squads. And Score, a legendary player on the KT squad. So KT beloved here in Korea. Hanwha Life desperate for even a game victory, Valdez. Maybe the series is getting tricky. 1-0 down, but if they don't win a single game, the door is wide open for Afrika Freaks to beat Jinair and join the top 5 at the cost of Hanwha Life.
Well, Jinair gatekept Hanwha, former Rocks Tigers, in spring. Let's see if they can gatekeep another team, actually, in Afrika. That would be an interesting story if they're just the gatekeepers of LCK.
Showing his level 1 skill of the headbutt just to annoy Deft.
Yes, I took headbutt. Here, let me show you.
I reckon he might take Pulverize at level 2.
You think so?
I'm thinking about it,
He's pretty good.
Well, if they get to level 2.
Look at the red fishies. They're dominating this
Why do you
lane.
show Pulverize? Then the enemy just runs at you.
Yeah.
So you just show a headbutt. The enemy just runs at you.
That's what Mata did. He's saying, oh, you have Pulverize.
You have headbutt.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was the one.
It's all your fault.
I got excited, sorry.
Guys.
From what I understand, it's Monka S and not Monkas, right? I know it doesn't have a pronunciation.
So I thought it was Monka S, and then I heard from someone else that was Monkas. But then now I started saying Monka S. I don't know. I really don't know which one is correct. But
look,
you guys
it's a
know what we're
nonsense
saying.
word, so you know. It's a Twitch emote.
Is it GIF or GIF, though?
Apparently it's actually GIF, according to the guy, but I don't agree with him, so I
don't agree with him either. Poor guy.
In Australia, GIF was like a
believes him.
really famous cleaning product, so that had a J. As Ucal pretty good on the accuracy on the chains.
I think Jif is a peanut butter brand. Or that's Jiffy. Yeah, that's Jiffy. No. Close, I guess.
I guess Ucal might be one of the first players to have only played 2018 LeBlanc, because of course he wouldn't have played the previous rework of LeBlanc. 2018 LeBlanc, back to, I guess, when was it reworked? Maybe 2014? It's been a few years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The previous version, but
maybe 15.
Kind of weird to think about. He's back to the new old build. Mata and Deft running away with the pressure in this lane, but not the CS lead by any means, just pushing off and taking advantage of Key at level 1, showing the headbutt.
Yeah.
It's fine to take headbutt at level 1, but the moment you headbutt in the middle of the lane and have no cooldowns as Alistar, it's
and then you're in the middle of the lane as well.
That was the problem. Smeb is going to poke around, and they got a pushing bot lane and a pushing top lane very clearly. So good trades in the mid lane, so Score can kind of do whatever he wants. As this Hillbilly.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the Hillbilly burps?
We heard it just a second ago.
It'll be louder.
I'm ready. I'm ready for more. See a lot of junglers on the blue side nowadays actually skip taking the red. I wonder what that's all about. Maybe you just don't take it on your first rotation and then you just hold it for when you're actually out on the map so you can use it while you gank.
I love the fact that we're musing about it because you know how this will go, right? You think about the theory and you're like, oh, I'd love to have the red buff when I'm ready to gank. So yeah, I'll hold it for a while. Of course, then someone sees Score does this and another Korean jungler does it. And then, of course, people start invading the red and just stealing it eventually. Yeah. The last time that happened with big buffs, you'll remember when it was a Rek'Sai meta and no one would take the blue buff, and at level 5 or level 4, 5 minutes in, they would hand off the blue buff. But then people just started stealing the blue buffs. So I love little trends like that. It's the same in Champion Select when certain picks start to come through. You're right. It is very conspicuous to not see red buff taken to what? 4 minutes 40 into the game.
Yeah. Especially because he's not even going out on the map right away to get it, right? He's going to go back and go for his first bite now after 36 CS.
Still, level 5, pretty fast, actually, with the power farm route. He had winning lanes everywhere, so he said, just chill, guys. I'll be level 6 soon.
You got both scuttles.
Top lane is the lane you have a bit of timer on because the stopwatch will be coming online very, very soon. So ganking the GP before then will be a happy story for the Gragas. Could try something. They have probably the ability to burst him from about this health. Maybe 300 less than full health. They can one rotation him. Seems like Gragas going to be top side for now.
Yep, just farming on up. He's the farming Gragas looking for level 6. And still has that red buff now that he is out on the map. I suppose that is the idea. They say, well, we're not going to clear the jungle that much faster with the red buff. We don't need the health regen. We can just have it for the next time after we buy some items.
3 winning lanes for KT means all attention is on Score and what he's going to do this game. Deft comes bot lane, going for the Sheen first to continue his lane domination. I think Deft has had lots of really smart moments this season when it's come to itemization. I remember the KT Rogue Warriors game where he was really intelligent about going Sheen first in a game where if his jungler ever got invaded, they would lose. So he actually won a losing matchup just from going Sheen and delaying his tier timing. Can be very intelligent around there and just wants to get the priority. It's definitely the priority draft from KT is Smeb looking to kill a pirate.
He's going in there, actually. Has a nice amount of burst damage. But Lindarang with the oranges. It's just going to be a good trade after all. Quality pillar there to knock back the Gragas. Sangyoon getting a heal out of Mata. Is that like an unsealed spellbook thing, or did he just straight up use his heal?
Probably a bit of both. Whenever someone has an unsealed spellbook, they often end up using weird summoners. We had a Clarity used in the LCK because you can get Clarity on unsealed spellbook. So all about changing through as they want to really kill this GP. He doesn't have his stopwatch. He is really dead.
Yep, now's the time. Are you ready, Lindarang? Can you dodge the flash? The answer is absolutely not. He did it after he got hit by the body slam. Not ideal.
Someone was going to kill him. We didn't know who was going to kill him, but someone was definitely going to kill him.
I mean, if you were going to survive at all and you're going to use your flash, you use it to dodge the body slam. Not after you lose your entire health bar.
Can't juke that QR from LeBlanc. Feels bad.
Yeah. I would say maybe just hold the flash. You know, you're gonna die anyway. It's
Let's
3 on
consider.
1.
Let's say you're the Lindarang. When do you flash? Now?
Yeah.
Do you die anyway? Probably.
Yeah. I mean, the Shock Blast misses, the Gragas damage misses. It would be mainly LeBlanc, and, you know, maybe they could follow up, right? Smeb has his flash, but...
Boots to rush from LeBlanc. Actually, straight up rush on the Sorcerer's Shoes, so maybe another visit to kill the LeBlanc. Instead, we got the hide on bush thing going on, and Katie know about it. This is going to be something.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, it's 4 on 3 in the jungle. There it is, the double dash from the LeBlanc. Is just going to be able to clone out. There's the perfect cast as well. Going to be 2 kills, and KT already running away with game 2.
Reminds me of Duke a couple of years ago, spring 2015, the equalizer into the brush that Samsung Galaxy was camping. That was really, really sad if you have the map hacks on. They did not, and Hanwha Life, our most well-known hide-on-bush team.
Yeah.
SeongHwan loves to try to play that battle against the Lever Buster when they're behind. Unfortunately, that one just accelerated the game for KT.
Would love to know who put down the ward. Could have been a whole host of people, but that was the main reason why they knew.
I just love the last person creeping and being like, it's okay, are we clear? Are we clear to come in? It's like they played in hide and seek.
Poor SeongHwan.
Okay? Mom won't know. Mom definitely knew. Daddy Ucal joins.
Oh.
Papa scores here too. What a disaster for Hanwha Life.
True disaster. SeongHwan, at least he doesn't get punished for following his friends. And, well, nice little early game here. Doesn't matter if you guys got excited because, well, KT are already dumpstering them early on in game 2. It's not even 10 minutes and they're 3,000 gold ahead.
Poke continues. KT going for win lane win game now. Half opted into by Hanwha Life, half ended up on with the Malzahar pick. First use of the suppression not working out. GP wants to avoid the Gragas as much as possible. Scores Gragas, always a treat.
We were talking about that blind pick LeBlanc. We saw what the first dive can do. LeBlanc is fantastic at diving in terms of mid laners. I think maybe they just wanted to hardcore shut down the GP, and that's exactly what's happening now because Lindarang, again, with no flash, is in a ton of trouble here. Cannonbra is going to come in. At least he does have the stopwatch, but this is going to be the stun. The chain's not going to land, but the shot flash from Smeb from downtown past the minions, and Smeb will get the kill.
Nothing but pirate on that one from downtown. They didn't have the ultimate from Gragas, so I thought they might just be backing away. But Smeb gets his crosshairs on. It hits the maximum. Hanwha Life lose another member, and they're already really out of touching distance in the early game. You can't be much further behind than 3,500 gold at 11 minutes.
Yeah. It's wonderful stuff. I feel like their draft was beautiful. They were given the Tahm Kench, and now we're seeing what can happen. The 4 pick on the GP is just being punished so hard
At this point, when Smeb's taking a dog trade against GP, you have to know as Lindarang. You're in a really bad spot. He can't fully disengage because he doesn't want to get into range of the enemy. Really good stopwatch timing. It saves a lot of damage there coming in from Ucal. I think it's all over, but look at how much damage it does. 350 damage, and the Summoner Airy proc on that accelerated shock blast. KT Rolster, they continue to snowball, and you know how you know KT's winning, Valdez? You know how you know it's a good game? You look at the Scuttle Crab counter. It's one of those score games. He's 4-0 on the Scuttle Crabs.
Yep, 4-0. It's very one-sided, and it looks like they're looking for perhaps Lava here. Score instead of a 5th one, maybe just a Malzahar is enough. Look at Ucal trying to bait him in too. Really cute stuff. No flash on a score just yet, but they're looking for him here. The lockdown though, the cask is going to be flashed by Lava.
Oh,
here's
the chain!
Deft, the flash on in, and the chain is going to lock him down. Deft picks up the kill.
He hit the fadeaway mimic chain there. That's outrageous by Ucal. They get the bonus kill.
First time LeBlanc, by the way.
Well, apparently he's more of the Smurf LeBlanc rather than the first time LeBlanc is. Lindarang's just going to be
How about
dead.
a solo kill on the top side? KT, they're getting excited themselves.
They are dumpstering Hanwha Life, and also there being the team of life for SK Telecom T1. A 2-0 here means any victory for Afrika Freaks gets them into the playoffs and allows SKT to play in the postseason, because they'll be playing the Worlds qualifiers as the bottom seed.
It's gigantic. It's really huge for SKT, not so big for Hanwha Life. They're going to be hoping that Jin Air can upset Afrika in order to get into the postseason. That is not what you want. And, well, let's take another look at the fadeaway chain.
I think Lava reads this right. He's like, yeah, there's probably a jungler there. The flash is good too. Watch the chain though from Ucal. He goes back and hits the max range chain for the bonus kill. They get the Bonanza solo kill on top side, because Lindarang's 2 levels below a Jayce, and it may not be Khan, but Smeb is our second best Jayce in Korea. Walks in, free poke, free poke, free poke. Not much you can do as GP. You got to get farm at some point. GP into the death chamber. KT flexing on Hanwha Life.
Seems like they were unhappy about the 0-2 they took against Hanwha Life in the first round. One of the stats that we saw for KT before these matches started was that their first round was, you know, mediocre. It was all right. I think they were like 5-4, 6-3, something like that. And now they only have 1 loss in the second round. So KT have really just powered things up. They're accelerating, kind of like a Jayce right now. And, well, things are looking really good, especially in this series. They only have 1 more to go if they can 2-0 here. And, well, Lava might just die too. The chains and the Ignite are going to tick down. And see you later, he says. How about another kill on a SeongHwan? And SeongHwan, oh boy, subjugation, but nowhere for him to go. Look at Smeb at the top side. He's just standing there as well. SeongHwan, he's going to have to use his own. Lindarang was just walking up the lane. SeongHwan's going to die. This is destruction right now.
This is a matchmaking question mark game in the LCK. And Hanwha Life
this might be our shortest game ever.
Are right next to playoffs.
I know.
My God. KT Rolster.
This is KT Rolster. This is KT PogChamp right now, and, well, doesn't look like Hanwha are on the same level as this, and this is definitely a statement by KT too, saying we're ready for the playoffs. All those other 3 teams you're thinking about, not as good as us.
If KT win this 2-0, which right now is seeming very likely, after this performance, are you more or less confident that they beat MVP 2-0?
I am probably less confident, actually.
You just know KT
it's
after
MVP,
this.
they're too easy.
You know, after this, they take the night off to celebrate, and they say, yeah, I mean, it's going to be MVP. We'll be fine.
We're fine, right?
Ucal is a pretty good LeBlanc player, it turns out.
First time, by the way, kills all the little pets. Not enough damage comes out during the Nether Grasp and just ticks down. So easy for him. 2-0 and 5 with a Quicksilver Sash now.
Well, the perfect game is on, but Mata doing his best to turn it off.
Well, he does have some support coming in. I'm not sure that they can kill him right now. Mata is, though, going to be sniped down. So will the perfect game.
Perfect game. Dream dies. It's still 7,000 gold lead at 16 minutes, which is just immense. Mid lane turret down. 3 turrets down at 16 minutes. Okay. That's a lot. The colors there from Ezreal after the game is already decided.
Okay.
Usually that's what are you doing with your cull, but it's a different kind of what are you doing with your cull. A mana cull, I guess. Smeb got the Rift Herald at some point.
They still have the Rift Herald. So we have 3 outer turrets down. We're going to have some inner turrets down here soon. And by the way, 6-0 on Scuttles as well. Not a single one has gone to Hanwha Life.
It is Jayce into GP. Hanwha Life threw the duo lane and bought at level 1, and then Ucal has outplayed the Malzahar, so it's very scary to get to the river. Look at the heat map here. He's gone past the river, probably on 1 trip, and then he has 3 pings in the river.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else because Scuttle Crabs are a bit scary. You can send a lot of members at Smeb, he'll probably die.
Lindarang trying to bait him in here. Looks like he will be able to. The flash comes out of Smeb, but no escape. We're going to turn now on to Key, who did not have his ultimate, but he is able to flash the wall to get away from that 10. Good bait, mate.
Don't know about the QSS, mate. That was, sorry, the flash there with no QSS from Jayce. Bit of a whoopsie from Smeb. Didn't expect a jump scare amount of people. Ucal side laning. If you guys are wondering about 2018 LeBlanc, she's much weaker in the side lane than she was before. You don't take teleport anymore. as Deft is apparently not weak.
Yeah.
Diving in onto the Malzahar. You're very much more about the sieging than you were about the side pushes. Deft really gives no mundos about Hanwha Life right now.
He's just queuing him under turret. Why not? It's interesting that they send Sangyoon alone to the bottom lane, 3 levels down against a fed LeBlanc.
KT have lost games to Hanwha Life like this before. You remember that game where they threw the game against the Cogmore comp?
Yeah.
That was a Spo TV game from last season.
Yeah.
But it's seeming tricky. This would take some advanced KT dark magic to lose this one. Outrageously far ahead from all the outplays.
This is the perfect KT game. If you guys are trying to introduce your friends to your favorite team, show them this game and then show them one game where they just lose to BBQ or something and it looks one-sided. It's kind of the all-encompassing KT personality as a team.
So cashed in for Deft. He's got 2 items. Gonna have his Muramana absurdly early. Score pushing in. Again, the easy objectives were down at 16 minutes, so it gets trickier. They have a Rift Herald, though.
I want to see Lindarang try to stop that by himself.
He's got a Trinity Force.
Yeah.
That's something.
He also has a trundle nearby. Looks like, after all, he can kind of stop it by himself.
Smeb's gonna face check him.
Yeah. Trundle actually got scared. SeongHwan wasn't having any of that.
Deft is calling for a turret dive on Lava. That's why Arcane shifted in. Score's not taking the bait, though.
Yeah. No magic shields here onto Lava, but still not. Oh, okay. What happened to his health bar?
I had to adjust my grimace because the damage was way bigger than expected. Well.
Will it? Oh, so close.
It literally went through his particles. Can someone please check the hitbox on that one?
Malzahar was out of there.
Wow.
Okay.
He has a de-resing back animation, and then it looked like he died. Okay. We'll give you that one, Lava. You get one every game. Bot lane turret goes down. They didn't get the top lane turret.
He also has 1 assist. So he's got 1 of everything else. I played Malzahar games like this where it's your team is just getting absolutely destroyed. And it's like, well, I can ult 1 person. And then you do with like 5 of your teammates because it's solo queue and he pushed too far. It's kind of what happened in the top lane.
Malzahar is so good in solo queue. I think he replaced, we were talking in Series 1 about how a Mumu Mal fight was taken away.
Yeah.
Malzahar has the soul of that because, you know, people love to feel like they're really strong and push too far in solo queue, and Malzahar's great at punishing it. So I think he has the soul of those punishing champions. Not quite AoE Wombo, but still pretty reliable, whatever his balance level is at the highest level.
As long as you have an ult like that, you're gonna...
Suppression's pretty good.
Yeah. Skarner not bad from the jungle either. A little bit harder to pull off. Ezreal does damage.
Lindarang's smart here. He's actually shadowing.
It's going to be a 2-on-2 missed shock blast. We'll see if they can turn this one around. It's going to nethergrasp onto the Jayce. Oh, okay. Eats a cast to the face, and oh boy, Sangyoon, you're all left alone here. Where's your mother? You need someone to help you here. There's nobody. Key just not in the play at all, and well, Sangyoon gonna die.
If you ever needed a game to prove there's too much damage in League of Legends, KT went ahead with the Keystones as they are on 8-14. Definitely showing it off. People are dying from far too high health bars.
You can tell Score's getting excited as well. Just diving turrets. They might just push down and we'll take a couple of inhibitors for free.
Isn't our stream rated 12? Are we sure we can show this?
It's only rated 12, haha. But there's, I mean, this is just way too much. At least PG-13 here.
This is some explicit content.
Yeah.
Whatever the definition of explicit, this is very explicit. It's KT Rolster trying to show us how good they are when they're flexing. Turns out pretty good.
It's like a statement game, as I said before. They have so many different playmakers, and when you combine them all together, it gets really scary. Deft, he's been more consistent than ever here, I would say, in the summer, at least over the past, a couple of, well, okay, didn't even have time to play-by-play that one as Sangyoon disappears.
Okay.
LeBlanc is good.
Yeah,
His champion
does a lot of damage.
Nice.
Well,
Good
KT Rolster, let's see if they can actually, you mean a rework?
Yeah.
an original work. Misses the chain. That we saw a chain miss from Ucal. We have that on record right now.
The two-shot barrage got the magic shield away from the Malzahar.
It's really hard to commentate this game. It's just kind of gaping mouth, oohs and ahs
They
every
died
time.
too fast.
I know. The job for KT is for every member to find the enemy member and try to kill them.
We have to see the replay because we didn't see it the first time around.
I see.
He just flashes. He's like, I don't need my flash. Might as well just kill their AD carry.
Well, KT would love to break the base during this, let's say, power play that started at the draft and is still going at 23 minutes.
I just love how they have Sangyoon alone against LeBlanc, trying to stop him, especially after what just happened. Kind of funny. I mean, Varus has good wave clear, but that's about it. Can't really survive in a 1v1 against LeBlanc.
Definitely a lot of food for thought about future bans against KT
Doing
Rolster.
it again! Sangyoon is so low, the auto might kill him, but actually the heal from Alistar saves his life just barely. If he wasn't there, he was dead.
As your ultimate down does not hit its target. As here we go.
Well, they have Tahm Kench. Remember that, Hanwha Life, when you gave Tahm Kench to them in the draft and then last pick Malzahar?
In a different game, the Malzahar would have worked. In this game, where top and bot lane got blasted, the Malzahar looks very silly.
Yeah. Well, KT, you can tell that they're just riding the high right now. They're saying, we can do whatever we want. We're so far ahead. They're 12,000 gold ahead at 24 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, this is why KT have always been a different proposition to the other teams that go international. They're really, really good at the early game. And they have match winners. And in a league that was dominated by Kingzone, who know when to turn on, know how to play the right early game, KT play the aggressive early game better than any other team in Korea. That's why people have been demanding to see them. And they're certainly closer this year than they were last year, Valdez.
Is this the year of KT? Is this where they actually make it into the finals and win a championship of sorts?
If they could play like this KT more often, yes. But the ifs are always there with KT. We never know what to read into. All the memes, the excitement meme and things are based on reality, which is they do have the pendulum swinging the other way and things going really poorly. So
yeah,
for KT Rolster, the best of KT is the best in the world. But the best of KT is seen fleetingly, and we're getting a love letter to it right here.
They're just so good at styling, especially when they get a lead. It's ridiculous. Probably the best in the world at that. I remember we started the broadcast and we said, I don't know, it could be 55-45 here for KT. Well, now it's looking like 100-0 in favor of KT at this point. You mentioned Siege composition for KT. If they get ahead, it's pretty redonkulous right now.
It's lethality, Jayce as well. That's why the damage is so insane this early. Even Summoner Area is an orbital nuke.
Yeah.
Trying to take down this turret. I think Hanwha Life have to go for the suicide engage on the next minion wave. If they lose 3 turrets, they are going to have a whole hell of a lot of poke coming their way. Ucal very slowly pushing. KT are kind of saying, well, we can only lose this game with the Barons. Let's just not take Baron.
No reason to. I suppose if they got it, the game would end sooner, but that's about it. As well, we might just be on track for one of our fastest days in a while. As 2-0 into 2-0 is looking very likely. KT still now 14,000 gold. Deft is going 1v4, and there it is, the follow-up from Score. And well, he's going to be in trouble. Lava has to flash the cast, and he is just so tanky. Finally, is going to go down, but at least opens up the door, do a bit of damage to this inhibitor.
Yeah, try and still push and take an inhibitor in this 4v5. As long as KT doesn't get greedy, they can back away, take a pretty easy Baron, and then close out the game. KT are definitely feeling like Supermen, but 4v5 is a different scenario.
Yeah, got to be careful, especially with the trundle. Ucal actually pops forward. Pillar comes in, and KT are going to give up on pushing the top inhibitor.
Can't take the Baron right now because they do not have Smite, no Cho'Gath or anything like that. Thinking about exit kills on if SeongHwan face checks, but probably smart just to back away. Ucal doesn't know he's spotted, so we'll see if Hanwha Life can find a way to punish him on the top side. After seeing Ucal with his QSS still available for a while, first thought is no.
He owns the Rift right now. Sangyoon can't even get there to do a full piercing arrow.
So much damage was laid onto Lava at the start of this play by Deft, who has Tahm, Kench, QSS. He knows he's going to be able to get away. Score tries to do 500 damage to Lava, but he can only really try to burn him down with his Skirmisher Saber because the flash from Lava was very heads up. Nicely done there. It's only a single inhibitor in a scenario where you feel like 9 times out of 10 KT would have taken 2. So the game doesn't end. Only 1 inhibitor goes down. There's still life for Hanwha Life, but apart from the awkward repeat of the word life when it comes to their life in the playoffs, definitely seeing it flash before their eyes.
It's a life worth living right now for KT, with Hanwha Life's life on the line. See if they can find a lifeline here in this series. Smeb just pushing in to the last inhibitor turret, looking for this bottom side. See if Hanwha Life haven't engaged. Another headbutt, kind of reminiscent of level 1, as it did absolutely nothing and didn't push them any farther ahead.
Speaking of far ahead, Ucal is on split push duty this time. Smeb popped his 3rd lethality item. You best believe that he went into 3 Dirk item Jayce.
Yeah, that's what I like. It's good. Poke damage is ridiculous from this composition, and Ucal at any moment's notice can just hop in. Sangyoon is just out of the fight once again, and so is Key on the backside. He has to flash away from that one just to make sure. Ucal going on in. SeongHwan also going to flash, and well, KT now just playing with their food.
It's not fair playing against a LeBlanc and a lethality Jayce that are both fed. There's no stats to build. Health's not going to be enough, guys. No item completions either. 3 inhibitors are down. What do KT Rolster want to do? Seems like, because of the short trips to the fountain to heal up, they're going to go for the Baron first.
Might as well. I mean, Hanwha Life knows it. KT knows it. Everybody knows that the next objective is the Baron, but can they do anything about it? The answer is hell no. There's no way. I mean, you could try to push out the lanes and then maybe get on in there.
Oh, they showed GP. Okay, well, scores here. We've seen it before. The full zoom shout out to LCK Summit 20. Oh, it starts again. That's what's the smite here.
Devour onto LeBlanc just to make sure.
Someone's going to get there.
Okay, that smite went to LeBlanc. Trundle died as well, trying to get on in there. Is not going to work out. Key's going to die too, and the Baron will happen. It looks like KT will be able to just end this game.
It's just about it.
They want kills. They're not going to end the game just yet, actually. They want more. Well, there's nowhere for Sangyoon to go. Just going to be ripped apart again, and so will Lindarang. Only Lava survives, and that's going to be the end of the game, guys. 18,000 gold ahead, or KT, and that is one step closer to getting the first place here in LCK.
Looks like they're going to close it out here. Smeb, Ucal, they walk up. The death timers, if they were 5 seconds, they'd still be too long. KT are also going to win Valdez.
Yep, as easy as you would like. That was just super one-sided here, especially in game number 2. They do it twice in a row. They're playing with their food. Just going to donate his body for science is Ucal. And that's going to be it. Another Nexus broken, and KT with a clean 2-0.
KT Rolster entered these 3 match days with a simple equation. 4-0 Hanwha Life into MVP. But for KT, those simple equations have always been where they trip up. They can beat the best teams in the world, but they can lose to the worst teams in Korea reliably. It happens every split. This time out, though, this KT is trying to rewrite that story. Pawn is gone from the mid lane. Ucal is there. He has the killer instinct just like some of his teammates. Smeb on his 400 and 400 first series had a big performance as well, and KT know that the equation remains simple. All they have to do is beat MVP 2-0 to reach first. If they 2-1, they'll be second. Both of those are good results, but KT, they're only focusing on first.
They want to make it to the finals. They have bigger goals than just surviving in a league like this. Hanwha Life can't help but smile. Even the coach is smiling. They know they got dumpstered real hard in game number 2, and well, the only one who doesn't have a smirk is SeongHwan, as I barely even saw him on the Rift. He's not having a good day.
How can you not smile, right? You were just punked by KT Rolster. They dominated them in a way that makes you appreciate just how good KT can be. And this game was decided so early that there was no comeback mechanics. There was no late game. if you said, oh, we got the scaling, you'd be flamed for that one. So things just weren't going to work out for Hanwha Life from very early in the game. It's been a good season for them, but unfortunately, will it be a good season? No cigar, 2 splits in a row. Really harsh on Hanwha Life that are so close to top 5. But if a Freak of Freaks win, it'll be so close, but no cigar.
Well, that was a series. Wasn't expecting it to go that way. The zoom in on so many complicated emotions on the Hanwha Life coach's face. You can tell that he's not feeling good. After all, let's get a replay of all the action.
I don't think we have a long enough replay. This whole game felt like a solo queue montage. This was the best moment of the game. This was the ultra callback to LCK Spring 2015, Najin Duke versus Samsung Galaxy. They all piled in, and the brush has been the brush of life for Hanwha Life in the past. This was where things went very silly, very early. Everyone from KT fully on and understanding what was going to happen there. Great cast from score. Goodbye, Hanwha Life Esports, says KT Rolster. Not many teams in full flight that can flex on their opponents. Rocks Tigers 2016, they're a team I remember. Kingzone and Longzhu on their day, but not reliably. KT Rolster on their day, unbelievable. Just had a fun time on the Rift against Hanwha Life, but sadly, Hanwha Life weren't invited to the fun time.
Every single member of KT today was playing their minds out. It was really unbelievable. Smeb just dunking GP as he should on the Jayce. Deft looked really good, even though he wasn't the MVP of either game. Ucal had another fantastic game on first-time LeBlanc, by the way. In competitive, of course. Just won the entire game with the side of his teammates, goes for the ganks, and then wins with the solo queue in the mid lane.
And your MVP, looking at facing KT in 2 days, what exactly do you learn from this game? There's nothing to learn, apart from the fact that they'll happily give up trundle for Gragas. Everything else doesn't work. MVP don't play trundle. I guess that's good news for them, because don't want to deal with the Gragas either. Gragas priority might go up, and yeah, you're now worried about blind pick LeBlanc. I think that's the final note the coach writes down before he just rips up all the notes and says, guys, best of luck.
Let's enjoy our time on the Rift. Have a good game. I have nothing else to tell you. Let's take a look at some game facts. There were actually 4 deaths by KT, so Mata's first death to ruin the perfect game was not in vain. And
did they get a scuttle? They might not have. I didn't actually see.
I don't think so, actually. It was 6-0, and then KT was just too far ahead, and they had control of the entire map. So.
Is that 3 games we've seen with no scuttle against Score? It wasn't all about Score, for sure, but his Gragas is fantastic. Lethality Jayce was an orbital nuke, the LeBlanc an orbital nuke, and Deft was doing a lot of damage too, so really big trouble there from Hanwha Life. No way to get back into that game. The door shut close at around level 5. The MVP could go to anyone on KT, but it's going to be Ucal who deserves it over the course of the 2 games for sure.
Definitely does. His LeBlanc was stellar. First time playing it in the pro scene. Gonna walk in front of us. Hey, Ucal. 8th MVP. He's a bit of a monster, this young player, and I can't wait to see what he has to say. I'm gonna hand it over to Ji-sun. She'll help with the translation. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much. This is Jayce with your interpret translations, and today we're going to have an interview joined by Smeb and Ucal from KT Rolster, picking up another 2-0 victory against Hanwha Life Esports. Congratulations on the win. Your fans look super happy. How do you guys feel?
네, 오늘 경기가 사실 저희한테 부담감이 굉장히 큰 경기였는데
we had a lot of pressure before going into today's match, but today I think I was the captain of KT Rolster, so it feels really nice.
주장 역할뿐만 아니라 진짜 그냥 모두 그 맵을 진짜 쓸고 다니셨어요.
I think you kind of solo carried the whole game today.
오늘도 강하셨어요.
And Ucal, you were strong. How was today's match?
부탁드리겠습니다.
사실 제 목표가
My goal is going to the finals and also going to the finals and watch all the playoffs. I think really close to it, so I'm really happy.
이제 진짜 그 정말 어려운 시험 하나랑 조금은 수월한 시험 하나가 있었어요.
So I can say you guys almost achieved your spot in the finals. And you know, picking up 2-0 victory would mean a lot to you guys. So how did you guys prepare today's match?
네, 가장 이번 경기를 임하는데 가장 컸던 건
The biggest mindset
그래서
for us to get rid of the pressure.
우리의 플레이만 좀 집중해보자.
Let's just solely focus on our own roles.
중점을 두고 연습을 했고요. 네, 오늘 플레이가 잘 나온 것 같아요.
I think we
네,
kind of
맞아요.
pulled that off really well.
따로 이제 좀 준비한 게 있었나요?
What about you, Ucal?
뭐 사실 그냥
To be honest,
이게 중요한 경기긴 하지만
I knew it was an important match, but I just wanted to pay not too much attention to
오히려 좀
it.
부담감을 덜고 해야지 잘 나오는
So
것
I just
같다.
wanted to
그렇죠.
participate without pressure.
스맵 선수 400점 축하드립니다.
And Smeb, you had your 400th match in LCK.
진짜
Congratulations.
400점이라는 게 말이 400이지.
It is a big record. It's like 5 years, right?
이렇게 꾸준하게 지켜오신 게 진짜 대단한 것 같은데 또 자축을 하셨네요. 기분이 어떠세요?
How do you feel about that?
굉장히 오래 했는데
I guess I have been a pro for a long time, but I haven't won a championship yet, so I'm gonna make sure to take the victory in the finals for the summer split.
이제 1세트부터 있었던 이야기를 좀 해봐야 될 것 같은데.
So moving on to games. Well, there was an accident on bot lane.
그런데 바론한타가 모든 걸 뒤집어.
But you guys turned the game around near the Baron.
오늘은 근데 조금 바론으로 들어가는 그 타이밍이 약간은 늦은 느낌?
Well, when Hanwha was trying Baron, you guys weren't really trying to steal it, right? You guys rather preparing the team fight.
하나 팀이 이제 바론 트라이를 굉장히 많이 하는
Well,
팀이거든요.
Hanwha
그래서,
prefers Baron tries a
그
lot,
부분을 잘 이식했던
so
것
we were
같고,
aware of that.
좀 시간이 늦었지만 이제
So we were a
싸움을
little bit late,
이기면은,
but we were
된다라는
sure that
마인드로
if we win the team fight, it doesn't really matter.
싸우려는 게 목적이었고 바론 스틸은 아니었나요?
스틸을 할 수 있으면 좋지만
Well, if we were able to steal the Baron, we would have, but we were a little bit late, so we just focused on team fights.
그대로 뭐 경기가 기울었다고도 볼 수가 있을 것 같습니다. 또 이제 마지막 한타가 진짜 멋있었잖아요.
And also the last team fight was so amazing.
계속 의식할 수밖에 없었어요. 스맵의 캐넨.
You know, Hanwha players were kind of worried about Cannon on Smeb, but Ucal, you opened the team fight on your own.
진영으로 데려오는 모습이 또 있었는데 그 장면 준비되면 같이
let's go through the clip.
좀 설명을 해주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
바로 승리로 이어진 장면이었거든요.
So you guys were able to take down the Nexus after this team fight.
그 미드 쪽에서 밀리지 않으려고 나오긴 했지만 상대방
Well, Hanwha players were trying to protect their mid lane, but we knew that their position was really good, so we just tried to open the team fight.
완벽했죠?
정말 배달 완벽하게 하고 그 배달을 또 스맵 선수가 잘
Great
받아서
knockout with Ucal's ults, and also the engagement with Cannon's ultimate was just amazing.
2세트로 넘어가면은
And moving on to game 2.
경기도 경기인데 사실 저는 뱀픽에서
I have a question with the draft.
맞아요.
이 라인에서 시시기가 없는 조합들을 뽑아 오면은
Well,
초반에
I saw great confidence on you.
많이 힘들어지는 이런 경우가 많잖아요. 그런데 제이스 그리고
You know,
르블랑 선픽 그냥
KT
해버리고
players just
이즈탄
blind
펀치로
picked Jayce,
탑라인도
LeBlanc,
압박하면서
and
경기를
Ezreal and Tahm
승리로
Kench,
이끌었는데
and you guys were
그런
leading in the
어떻게
laning
좀
phase and
알려주는지
ended up
궁금해요.
winning the whole game.
아무래도 저희 팀이 이제
in the
그런
end.
주도권 플레이를 굉장히 잘하거든요. 그래서
Well,
오랜만에
I think
상라인을
all of our
주도권 잡을 수
players are
있는
so
각이 나와서
good at
이제
priority
다들
pressure
욕심을
plays, you know.
시켜주셨는데,
It
네,
can
잘
always snowball to the
풀어나간 것 같아요.
advantage in the laning phase, so I think our head coach was trying to make that happen in game 2.
근데 진짜 탱이
So even without tank champions, you guys just dominated whole game with aggressive picks.
2세트에는 더 세게 왔던 것 같아요. 사실 1세트의 그 기세가 좀 도움이 되셨어요?
Well, did the fact that you guys won the game, the first game, kind of help you out to win the game 2?
그래서 더 자신 있게 뽑았던
Yeah, I thought like Lava was feeling a little bit less confident, so I was able to pick, just blind pick LeBlanc. And also we got Mara to protect us, so I think we were able to go with some more aggressive picks.
나오면 확실히 안정적이었어요. 2세트에 근데 르블랑을 선택했단 말이에요. 유칼 선수가 사실 1세트에서
So you blind picked LeBlanc for game 2. But however, LeBlanc on game 1 on Hanwha's side was not really good. What made you pick LeBlanc?
어떤 픽이 나와도 저는 오늘은 자신 있을 것
Well,
같아서
for today, I was sure that I'm gonna defeat anybody coming up to the mid lane with LeBlanc.
그것도 있고 감독 코치님의 추천도 있었어요.
Well, I did appeal to my coaching staff, but they also recommended to play it.
남자기 때문에 코칭 스태프에서 믿고 이렇게 르블랑 픽을 맡겨주셨던 것 같고
그렇습니다.
또 2세트에서의 승부가 확
You know,
넘어간 거는
another
제
question
생각에
is,
아군 레드 쪽에서
Hanwha players sneaked into your jungle.
숨고 있는 걸 다 확인한
However,
후에
you guys had
진짜
vision
대박을
already, so you guys knew everything was gonna
장면을 또
happen.
보면서 얘기해보면 좋을 것 같아요. 이때 어떤 콜이 오고 갔나요?
So what was going on over there?
육할 선수.
이때 들어오는 게 보였거든요.
Yeah, we saw them coming in with that ward.
다들 다 같이
So we were ready to fight back.
앞장서고
The Tahm Kench was leading, and he opened the team fight.
그리고 이 싸움이 끝난 후에 뭐 나이스 하면서 좋은 상황이 연출이 됐었을
I
것
guess
같습니다.
after that, you guys were able to close out the game on your own.
세트에서 유칼 선수의 르블랑과
In game 2,
르블랑이 위쪽에 올라가고 또 제이스와 이즈리얼이 사 쪽에
Well,
1사라고 보통 하잖아요.
you had a
포함이 되면서
kind of new rotation with LeBlanc going to side lane and Jayce with Ezreal.
까지 이렇게 깎아내는 모습이
So
나오는데
I think we saw a great macro on KT Rolster. So whose plan or decision was that?
보통은 제이스가 깎잖아요.
You know, it's mostly Jayce going to the side lane.
제이스와 이즈리얼이 포킹에 좋잖아요. 그리고 이제 르블랑은
Well, Jayce and Ezreal really
플레이하기
have a strong
좋은데,
pokes.
그런 점을 잘
And LeBlanc is strong in side lanes also, so we just wanted to take advantage of that.
굉장히 잘해서
And you know, Ucal can be strong in side lane also, so we had to trust in Ucal.
아니 그런 얘기도 진짜 오늘 커뮤니티에 진짜 많았던 게 5명의 모든 선수가 다 캐리가
And you know, the
가능한
fans
팀이다,
said all the
슈퍼팀이다,
5 players in
진짜로.
KT Rolster
이런 얘기도 참 많이
are
나오고 칭찬을
carrying
많이
the
받았던
game.
오늘의 경기였어요. 자 이제 오늘 100점 받으셨는데요.
So you had a clean game today, but your next opponent will be MVP. Well, it can be less tough than today's match. So is there any last message regarding to the upcoming matchup?
이제 마지막 경기가 MVP전이 남았는데
Our final matchup will be
이대형으로
against
이기면
MVP.
데스티니인 걸로 알고 있거든요.
We're gonna make sure to pick up 2-0
저희라고
victory.
생각하기
And our
때문에
biggest
더
enemy
열심히
is ourselves. So we're gonna
도와주도록
come back with better performance next time.
네, MVP전을 2대0으로 이기면 이제 결승
Well,
직행이긴
2-0
하지만
victory
사실 그게
against
부담이 많이
MVP.
되거든요.
We're
그래서,
gonna secure our spot in the
생각 없이
finals.
그냥
So
저희의
I think that fact
플레이를
kind of
잘
adds more
보여드릴 수 있도록
pressure to ourselves. So I'm not gonna pay too much attention on it. Just I'm gonna practice solely about my performance.
전 결승에서 뵐 것 같네요. 정말 기대를 하도록 하고요. 자, LCK 이제 첫 결승
So,
직행이 코앞으로
you guys are almost
다가왔습니다. 스스로
there,
그
almost to the
기회를
finals.
잡아내면서 이번 시즌
I hope you guys
우승까지
can
얻을 수 있을지 여러분들의 많은
Remain your
응원
performance till the
부탁드리도록
end, and
하겠습니다.
this
자,
will be the end of the
유칼
interview with
선수에게
Smeb
다시
and
한번
Ucal
축하의
from
박수
KT Rolster. And
부탁드리겠습니다.
I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Well, that was a game, and that was an interview. Really quick, 35 minutes. The first game was closer, but then Smeb shut him down with his cannon. The second game was not close at all. This KT Rolster just totally destroyed them. Only need the 2-0 against MVP now. We'll have to see if they can do it.
That is, in fact, the equation. KT joins Gen.G, Griffin, and Kingzone at 12 match victories. But guys, the second tiebreaker after match victories is, of course, game score. Gen.G are at 13. KT will be able to join them there with a win against MVP. They can reach plus 15 with a 2-0. You might say yes, but Griffin can also reach plus 15, and they're facing BBQ, very likely to 2-0. Problem is that KT Rolster in the first round robin and second round robin beat Griffin, so they hold the head-to-head. That is the third tiebreaker, and that means that KT had only their own play to look at. They need to win 2-0 against MVP, and then they skip all the way to the LCK Grand Final on September 8th, where they will be waiting in Incheon Samsung World Gymnasium. Seems very likely that one of Griffin or Kingzone will be waiting there.
Yeah, should be the one of them. And, well, Griffin, they have BBQ tomorrow, so you can imagine how that match is going to go. I highly doubt that BBQ is going to show up and take a game against Griffin, which is part of the reason why KT absolutely need to get that 2-0 victory. And, well, if they play like they did today, I think it should be a done deal, right?
Right. But as we know with KT, we never let them spend it before they've earned it. They absolutely have to show it, and the naysayers will still be there, Valdez, even if they do win. People will be saying, what about the final? Wait and see it there. Wait for Worlds. Always wait.
Yeah.
But KT Rolster have made their fans wait. They came together as a team of 5 players returning from China from big contracts to come together to win Worlds. Not even the LCK. They've done neither of those things. They missed Worlds last year. KT Rolster have a huge fan base. If they're going to prove something to them, it seems like they are finally poised to do it now.
Yeah. This is the season, it feels like, right? I mean,
if it's not now, do you really think they stay together again? Probably not,
Don't
right?
think so, right? This has got to be the year. And, well, it definitely feels like it's going that way. It's hard for us as casters to try to not get excited, not call them out for being this good.
They're just a really exciting team. How can you watch a game like this and memes aside, not be excited. They have fantastic match winners everywhere. But on their day, things fall apart. So there's never any guarantees with KT.
There never is. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see what they can do in the finals if they make it there. What if they drop a game to MVP? MVP plays some weird stuff and KT just decide to troll.
3 smites.
Yeah,
Done it before.
why not?
Won with it before. Anything possible.